I'm going to talk a little about what I'm doing here, give you a bit of an intro, and then later this afternoon we'll dive back in and do some coding. Um, so I think I have this all set up right. It should be going over YouTube at the Eric Weiner channel, Twitch at Weiner Codes. Feel free to check it out anywhere. What I'm going to be doing over the next couple days is trying to take a old game that my brother and I used to play back on our home computer when we were kids, and put it online. My brother lives in Colorado. I live in New Jersey. We can't play it on the same computer anymore. I'm not going to expect him to set up a 1996 style computer, so we've got to put it on a browser. So let me just show you what we're doing here. All right, there's my screen. The game is called Capture the Flag. It's a Capture the Flag game. It's really a turn-based strategy version of Capture the Flag. There's a listing of it here on DOSGames.com. Several glowing reviews, it says. And one of the cool things about DOSGames.com is that you can play online in a browser, which is kind of what we're going to be doing when we build it ourselves. You click here, you get a little DOSBOX thing. So I'm going to go through the game real quick. Also want to point out something really cool. The game is made by Carrsoft, which still has a functioning website. It seems like it's made by this guy. It's got this awesome 96 style retro website, the original shareware, a key role in computer gaming history, fantastic reviews from magazines. You can still download the zip file and play it on your Windows ME box. Really cool that these guys still have the site going, and I suppose you can still pay $30 for the commercial version if you don't want to have the shareware. So let's play it a second. I want to show you how it works. So as I said, it's a turn-based strategy game from 1996. This is all running in DOS over DOSBox. You start a new game. We're going to do a human versus computer one. I'm going to turn off the help pop-ups, but they are good for a first-time player, just because I'll walk you through it. Okay, so if I right-click, I can see the entire map. The right side is mine, the left side is the opponent. In this case, that's the computer. I have, I think, 8 people, A, B, C, D, E, and H. And if I move to any of them, they each have a name, like Dave, or Aaron, Becky, Christina. Each person has a certain number of movement points to begin a round. So let's go over to one of our people over here. So Gary has 30 movement points. Moving's pretty easy. You just click and hold. So now Gary's going to try to take over some enemy territory. And as you go, you can see more of that place. You can also adopt different positions. Walking slower, running is faster. Standing, you can see more, but just going to being standing takes up a movement point. Crawling, you're more hidden, less likely that the opponent can see you where you are. So if we go back to running, it will run over here, and then it prompts you, hey, it's your last chance to change where your stance. I'm going to go to being hidden so that the enemy doesn't see me. And so on, you can go through all your different people. I can have Heather do a little running into this field. Maybe we'll find something there. Maybe we'll start standing. Oh, that's important. And then I'll try to make it, try to get out of the way here, and again, go to hiding. So on and so forth. You go through all the different people you've got. Maybe you want to change some of your flag guarders to guard in a different place. Maybe you want to come over here and notice, hey, maybe I'll just stick here and catch this person in red as they come through to where I'm probably going to be. So after you finish a turn, you click the End Turn button. Now the computer will move, and you get to see anything that any of your players, any of your 8 people saw while the other team was going. So looks like we saw Udall. Oh, coming towards me. You can hold down this play button. Oh no, found me. But I won. I escaped capture. It's a little bit of a percentage thing. When you go run up to somebody in your territory, you can choose to attack them, and there's a formula for whether or not you succeed. Okay, here's Irving. There's Larry. Oh, Larry's running right by me. There's Victor. And so on and so forth. And then it's my next turn. So pretty simple game. It's a lot of fun. So this all works well right here in this application in DOSBOX, but there's a little bit of a problem. So we're playing human versus computer, and that works just fine. But if you want to play multiplayer against another person, you've got two options. So let me get out of this. New game. All right, so human versus human. You can play locally, which we're basically just supposed to trade off use of the computer, or over the modem. We can use different computers. So that's what we're going to do if I wanted to play with my brother out in Colorado. You type in your name, a little password that keeps that lets you start your turn. I'm going to say foo. Not do the learn mode. So for this, you do your moves, so on and so forth. Won't do too much of it. We'll just end our turn here. You say end your turn, and it prompts you to save one of these MD1 files. The idea is that you save this file, you go email it to the other person, they load it up, and it prompts them for their name, for their own personal password to place their turn. You save the file again, email it back, load it up again, play your turn, email it back, and so on and so forth. So it says you can now center your component, and you're back at the start. And then if you ever want to load one of these games, you hit the load button, click there, and we're back at the player 2 person. So that's the game, and so the goal of what I'm trying to do here is to take the play by email function and sort of put it on the cloud. So have somewhere you can go see this game, you can play the multiplayer version of it, and instead of having to somehow download a file off of here, email it to somebody, it'll just save it into a cloud database so that somebody else can be given a URL, go to that URL, and be automatically loaded up with the game. In order to do that, I'm going to base it mostly on the same technique that causes this to show up in the browser. And then I'm going to do basically some screen scraping and some manipulation in order to extract these save game files, store them somewhere, post it up to a URL, and then build a bit of UI around it. So hopefully it'll go well. I've already got it started, and I'll pick it up in the afternoon with what I'm going to be working on next. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody.